The last few days were really hard because I kept going through all my pictures of my pregnancy with my son, pictures of him, pictures of us in happier times. And it made me miss him a lot. And it's taken a few days to come out from under that. So today I'm feeling better. I washed my hair, which is always a sign of me feeling better somehow. And I'm going to go run some errands. But in all of that, I am still so grateful that I got to be his mom, because I identify a lot as a mother. My daughter gave me this for Mother's Day, and I love it. It's Mama, established 1994. So I've been a mom for 30 years. Oh, and it has their names, and I absolutely love this. I identified as a mother from the moment I had him, and it was like it gave me purpose. It gave me a reason, because he came to me at a very difficult time in my life. I was 19 years old. I had left my home. As children, we're Gen Xers. There's a lot of trauma in our childhood. So, there's a lot of trauma involved in mine. And I left home and was in a abusive relationship. And during my pregnancy with him, found myself homeless. I didn't know how to return back to my parents' house and had nowhere to go, so I would crash at my sister's sofa. And it was a very scary time. Imagine at 19, pregnant, and not having a plan, just kind of winging it. And then soon after, finding out that I was pregnant and going through all that, my mom had a brain aneurysm as she was in a coma. So I had to put all pride and all past anythings aside and care for her. And that helped me. That helped our relationship as mother and daughter, because I saw how fragile life is. And I was so afraid of losing her before I became a mother. So that put all of the past resentment and past issues aside, and was, I think, the beginning blocks of building a better relationship with her. And at the time, when I was 19 years old, I didn't have, Google, YouTube, or anything to search and learn, and therapy wasn't very popular in our community. So I was really literally winging it. And but now I've looked into epigenetics, and I understand that perhaps everything that I was going through made a print in my son. It's like inherited trauma, inherited memories, things like that. Because he was born knowing so much and being so empathetic, always putting other people before himself, and really invested in other people and helping. And that's what he did for me. From the moment that he was born, it was like a switch went off and life changed for me. And I knew that I had someone that I had to do things for, someone that I was responsible for. And that was like the driving force for me. That made me put aside pride, put aside this, put aside that, and make things happen. I feel like after reading this book, it's called Journey of Souls, I honestly believe that my son was my spirit guide incarnated, and that he came into this world to see me through the hardship and difficulties that I was going through, and get me to the other side of things, so that I could fully experience life like I was intended to. That gives me peace. Thinking that gives me peace, because it makes sense to me. My son was just I know everyone thinks that their child is the best and most amazing, but I'm seriously, he was. Like we would have conversations about so many things, and he knew so much about so many things. It was just odd. It was interesting, and I had like so much respect for him, and he had so much respect for me. We were more than mother and son. We were best friends, like real best friends. And I loved the person that he was, and I admired him so much. I looked forward to seeing him, to spending time with him. Every day after work, at 4:45, I'd get a phone call, and he'd say, "Hey, lady, what's for dinner?" And I have like an hour commute from work, and so whatever I'd say, he'd make. He loved to cook. He loved feeding me. He would sit there and watch me eat, and we would talk, and we would discuss politics, economic wars, history, music, everything. It was, and he lived with me. So it was like, my son, my best friend, and a teacher, all wrapped up in one with me all the time. And I'm so grateful for that, because, I saw this content creator say that as parents, we get at most 19 years with our children, because the first 18 years we're raising them and doing all the things that we do for them, and then they go off. And after that, in total, if we added up all the hours that we see our children in total, it adds up to just one more year. And when I think of that, I think, wow, I had 29. So I had more than most parents that have their kids all the way to when they grow old and die. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for all the time that I had with him. But it also makes it difficult to live without that, without him. Come home and not find him here, and not receive the phone calls or the text messages. Throughout the day, he'd send me TikToks. Check this out. I was up on everything, because he'd keep me updated. And he absolutely loved his nieces and nephews, Seven, Keone, and Zivru. Every time that any of his cousins or his sisters sent him an update, oh my God, he couldn't wait for me to get home so he could show me. He loved children so much. He would have so much patience. I think he liked children more than he liked adults. He got along with them better. He would throw himself on the floor. He was a bigger guy, so he'd let the kids climb over him and stuff, and he just had so much love and patience, and children loved him. I was looking forward to seeing him become a dad, because I knew he would be an amazing father. But he would always say, I am afraid of having children because I know the responsibility that comes with that. And I know why he would say that, because I was a young mom. His father was an absent dad, and unfortunately his childhood was less than ideal, but he wanted to make sure that his children wouldn't go through that, and I respected that. I did get to apologize to him for my shortcomings. It's never been beneath me to apologize, and I apologized to him, and I'm glad I did that. We never discussed it, but I'm glad that I got to do that years ago. The day that he passed away was the day that he was supposed to receive his license. He and my daughter were in the process of opening a daycare, an early education center. My son loved children, and he thought all children deserved to have a great education and loving school teachers, because he knew how important role models were. And the day that he was going to, he was so happy. We were all so happy. We had champagne ready and everything, and he just didn't wake up that day. And that day is the day that haunts me. But I try to go back to our memories and feed off of that to get through my days. But yeah, that was what being his mom was like.